All right, good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, and we have reached the end of the 22-23 season. Binghamton completing the sweep last night of the Carolina Thunderbirds, 4-3, more than the sold-out house. It was wall-to-wall people. It was incredible. Um, yeah, announced crowd there. Uh, 5,011. I think that is a Binghamton hockey record in 51 years of Binghamton hockey. Okay, so this game, before talk about the game, I just want to mention I had the pleasant opportunity to meet several Thunderbirds fans who made the travel up. And thank you so much for you guys coming. I hope it was a good experience in spite of Binghamton winning. Um, you guys were a class act, and really hope that you had a good time. Anyway, all right, for the game, it was surprising to me. Uh, Mario Cavallari starting in net. Not that Cavallari has played badly in the series. I commented after game two. Two of the three goals that he gave up, I don't think he could have done anything on. And two of the goals tonight, well, three because he wasn't in goal for the one. Uh, Again, I don't think he could have done anything else. Um, really good performance by both teams. Carolina came out firing. They employed a great 1-3-1 trap system. Um, Basically, they played the same defensive game that the Tampa Bay Lightning played. Um, in that first period, Binghamton was just not getting any room in the middle of the ice. And meanwhile, uh, goalie Connor McAnanama for the Binghamton Black Bears was facing quite a lot of rubber, and primarily Gus Ford. Ford, what a performance! What a performance! Not just last night, the whole the whole playoffs. So yeah, at 5:27, Carolina gets on the board first. It's a shot from the high slot, great feed from the corner from Dawson Baker, and Ford gets it home, and it is 1-0 Carolina. And then just exactly 5 minutes later, it's Ford again. This time, um, got the puck created off of a turnover. Again, that great defensive setup that Carolina played to a T in the first period. Puck gets turned over in the neutral zone, and Ford snipes one home past McAnanama, um, and it is now 2-0. Um, I was not surprised by this. There's about six people that I told about several hours before the game. It's like, I think Carolina scores first. I think they score two before Binghamton comes back and wins. And somebody followed the script. Um, okay, so Binghamton gets a little bit of cycling in the offensive zone. Late in the first period, 18:01, it's Don Oliveri. In close, tucks it in a five-hole past Cavallari. And there you go. It is now 2-1. Binghamton's on the board. Time runs out in the first, but shots in that first period were Carolina 16-9. Um, they played that defensive system to a T, and really came out. No penalties in the first period. There probably could have been a couple called, but um, I was very glad to see that the referees just let things go. Um, Anything that could have been called would have been kind of ticky tacky, in my opinion. So I was very glad to see that the referees, for the most part, put the whistles away. In the second period, It is just one goal in the period as Binghamton, they made some adjustments in the second period and they got a lot more offensive zone time. They got a lot more perimeter shots, throwing in shots on Cavallari that, in a couple cases were easy saves for him, but they were getting the puck in and, making him work. So finally at 10:18, it is a fluky goal. I still don't know how the puck ended up floating past Cavallari. It was just a mass of people and a fluttering puck, and it ends up in the back of the net. Um, and it ends up getting credited to Mathieu Boilard. Originally, this said Austin Thompson, um, and he had taken um, a shot at one point, but yeah, he really wasn't anywhere near the puck. But anyway, so yeah, it flutters in, and it's 2-2. And the shots are 19-7 in that second period. There's a couple of minor penalties going both ways. There's a 4-on-4 situation we had for a time. Um, and so, yeah, we ended up in the third period with a tie score, 2-2. And that's where Binghamton turns it up. Um, you get Peter Panachek penalty on a trip. I don't know why it took so long for the call to go through. It was a pretty obvious trip. And then it was like about 3 minutes before Patrick finally ends up skating over to the box. But yeah, after that, it is Gavin Yates. He goes backdoor on a beautiful feed from Don Alveri on the power play. And in that whole thing, there's a collision in the crease. Mario ends up getting hurt. So the goal is scored. Binghamton is up 3-2. Mario hobbles over to the Carolina bench, and I'm not sure if he got a cramp because I saw him this guzzling water and it looked like he had like a couple of gummies or something. No, not those gummies. But anyway, it looked like maybe he was a little dehydrated and he just needed to get himself back. But he still wasn't clearly 100%. He obviously got dinged up a little bit in that collision. Um, so again, I was kind of watching to see if Karpinski was going to come in, but no. To Harrison's credit, he stuck with Mario, goaltender of the year. And again, all the goals that were given up here, uh, and there really wasn't anything Mario could do. All right, so finally, we're getting late, and it's getting to be crunch time. It's 3-2, and I was the action was in front of me in Carolina's offensive zone. I'm watching the other end of the ice to see if Cavallari's going, and he is signaling to the bench, "Let me off, let me off, let me off." Let's get the extra attack around. He's banging in the stick. Finally, the door opens. He skates off. And there is the extra attacker now. There's pressure. There's cycling. Carolina did a fantastic job cycling the puck in the offensive zone in the third period. They really amped up the offensive pressure, and they made this a contest. Um, Eventually, though, Austin Thompson gets the puck on the wing from the half wall. He ends up tucking the puck into the empty net, 17-26. So it's 4-2. The media members sitting next to me, they all rush down to the ice, to get ready to take pictures because everybody's kind of like, yeah, we think it's over, but not so fast. 18-19, again, Cavallari is pulled, and Carolina is putting on all sorts of pressure. And again, I do have to harp on one thing. The league, again, got it wrong. Goal credited to Roman Kramer, but it was Gus Ford's goal. Gus Ford got himself his second hat trick of the game, even though you go to the Fed site tonight or today, and it says an assist from Ford, but shot by Kramer. It was Ford's goal. and he tucks it in short side just inside the post to make it a 4-3 game. And there's still 141 left on the clock. Um, Again, I hope that the league figures something out to get the recording of stats more accurate next year. Um, anyway, so that's on the power play, by the way. As just a few seconds earlier, Connor Smith hooked down Ford. Ford ends up in the net himself. And then on the power play with the extra attacker, he ends up tucking the puck home in the net as well. So there we go. But Binghamton is able to sustain the pressure, kill the clock, and it's a 4-3 win. The shots in the third period were Carolina 12, Binghamton 10 for the game. I'm going by the real stats because I was there. I saw it. All right. Gus Ford, another hat trick. Second hat trick in the series. The dude was unreal. 6 goals in the 3-game series. For the playoffs, 9 games played, 9 goals, 5 assists, 14 points. So if Carolina had somehow been able to turn this whole thing around and end up pulling the reverse sweep, no doubt Gus Ford would be the MVP, the Dan McWhinney Award winner. But it does go to Gavin Yates, who ended up leading all scorers in the playoffs, 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points in 7 games played. It was a marvelous, marvelous game, and Carolina gave it their all. No game was a blowout. All 3 games were close. It was a hard fought series, but Binghamton ends up going 7-0 in the playoffs, the first Fed team to do that. There have been several teams that have gone 6-0 in the playoffs, but Binghamton was the first to go 7-0. So there we go. Binghamton Black Bears, winners of the Commissioner's Cup for 2024. And now we take a couple of days off and we get right back to business. At the game, I did have an opportunity. I did not get to speak to him, but I did happen to greet and shake Barry Soskin's hand. I was, of course, Don Kiernan was in the house. Again, I met a lot of people from the media, both Carolina and Binghamton. Um, it was quite a game. But yeah, business is still going on. This week, protected lists are going to be coming out. So I'll be talking about that on Friday. Tuesday, there's news and notes. There were some not game related news that happened or potential news, and we'll talk about that on Tuesday. So, a couple days off, and then Tuesday, join me in the morning on Facebook Live. We'll be talking about some of the things going on across the league, what's going to be happening this next week to kind of set things in motion. And, we'll talk about the upcoming annual meeting for the Fed. And then Friday, again, we'll talk about the protected lists and, again, how the expansion draft is going to work again. So, there you go. I hope you have had a good time watching these videos and joining me. I appreciate all your support. If you haven't by now, please hit like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. Again, I'm taking 2 days off and then getting right back on the horse as we start gearing up for the 24-25 season. It's not that far away. So you figure with everything, camps and stuff in late September or early October, it's not that far away. All right, thank you so much again. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Make sure to follow me on Facebook and here on YouTube. Facebook again, 8 o'clock ish on Tuesday morning. All right, have a great day, everyone. We'll see you later.